A new thing. Hello, Malcolm here. Welcome to your daily devotional podcast, anchored in Isaiah 43 and verse 19, which says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." We're currently looking at God doing a new thing in the life of Daniel. And today we explore Daniel's prayers, or rather, it's part 1 today and part 2 tomorrow. There's so much we could talk about regarding his prayers. But to begin with today, we'll look at Daniel 2 verses 17 to 19. And Daniel goes home. There's a great threat to him and all the people like him in the land. They'll be killed unless they can come up with a solution. And he goes home to his companions and he tells them to seek mercy from the God of heaven concerning this mystery, so that Daniel and his companions with the rest of the wise men of Babylon might not perish. Then the mystery was revealed to Daniel in a vision of the night, and Daniel blessed the God of heaven. And again in Daniel chapter 9, we find a somewhat similar circumstance. We find that Daniel turns to the Lord God to seek and answer by prayer and supplication with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. He says, "I prayed to the Lord my God and made confession, saying, Lord, great and awesome God, keeping covenant and steadfast love with those who love you and keep your commandments." And on the prayer goes from verses 3 and 4. Let's pick up again in verse 20, when he records, "While I was speaking and was praying and confessing my sin and the sin of my people Israel and presenting my supplication before the Lord my God on behalf of the holy mountain of my God, while I was speaking in prayer, the man Gabriel, whom I had seen before in a vision, came to me in swift flight at the time of the evening sacrifice." And you can read the rest of that passage later if you like. Today, in terms of his prayer, we're looking at his confidence, Daniel's prayer confidence. Daniel has good reasons to pray. In chapter 2, his life is on the line, along with the lives of all of his friends. In chapter 9, he becomes fully aware of the shame of his people, the people of Israel. Is there any hope for him and his people? And you could forgive Daniel for avoiding praying to God. I mean, it sounded like God had abandoned his people, didn't it? They're in exile in a foreign land. They'd been invaded, deported, devastated. And yet there's something very resilient in Daniel regarding his confidence in prayer. You see, Daniel still has confidence in God. Perhaps some kind of false confidence in the structures and systems of worship in Israel. Perhaps the wrong kind of confidence in the presence of the temple or the priesthood or the prophets or anything else connected with that. Perhaps that misplaced kind of confidence now has been stripped away in God. He's able to better conceive of what it means to have confidence in God in prayer. So what does he ask for? He asks for mercy and he asks for clarity. And what does he receive? He receives the help he needs. Indeed, the help comes quickly. Gabriel comes to help him quickly. The insights and interpretation of the dream are given to him very quickly. He's able to then move on. And it's a bit like that with us and Jesus, isn't it? Because he promised us swift answers to prayer. Thinking about Luke 18, 7 to 8. "Will not God grant justice to his chosen ones who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long in helping them? I tell you, he will quickly grant justice to them. And yet, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth?" See, he promises us that we can expect responses to our prayers, and that's because we can have confidence in Jesus himself, who, according to Hebrews chapter 4, verses 14 to 16, is somebody who understands us, and because of that we can approach the throne of grace with boldness to find mercy and grace in our time of need. That's something worth praying through and meditating on today. Well, and I hope you find your heart, your life, your congregation, and your world inspired by God doing a new thing. Until tomorrow, take care and God bless.